Alright lads, smiling imp emojis and whatever else. For a small price of 990 Robux, I'm going to be checking out the early access of Robot 32. I know nothing about this game besides that it's a 3D platformer, so there we go. Alright, and I'm basically going to answer the question, or at least try to, of like, if this is worth its 990 Robux asking price. No idea what happened to the mic in the intro, but whatever. Robot 32 is a game that confuses me because it is not immediately obvious what to do or where to go. Upon joining for the first time, you are asked if you have played the game Robot 64 before, which I have not. I am assuming this game serves as the prequel. Currently, the prequel costs a little bit extra to play compared to Robot 64, as it is in its early release stage and things are likely to change in the future, but it is scheduled to be made free to play after some time. However, GTA 6 is likely to release before this game gets out of paid access, so at that point all hype will be overshadowed immediately. In this game, you play as a robot to collect fubbies across the map. You can switch between two characters named Melody and Tempo, who have different movesets apparently. I say apparently because I'm not entirely familiar with the game. From my observations, Melody moves around faster, but Tempo has higher jump height. They can be switched at any checkpoint. The controls for the characters aren't the best. I noticed sometimes, for example, that jumping midair wouldn't work when it probably should, and I got soft locked one time while trying to find a fubby inside a tree. This is probably a skill issue from my end because it turns out I am very shit at gaming. However, basic character controls are explained in the bottom left at all times and change based on the situation, so this is helpful. In this game, you do many different things to find fubbies, such as interact with NPCs and signs, solve puzzles, swing on trees, run for your fucking life, use cannons to soar the heights, complete some very basic 3D platforming, ice skate, ride roller coasters, fly paper planes, track drifting, spend 20 minutes trying to stack blocks only to realize this does nothing and doesn't help with gameplay by any means, ride rockets into walls, use platforms to launch from heights, travel through pipes, grab onto walls, engage in combat, enslave a frog companion, spin right round like a record, raise money by any means necessary to free fubbies, minesweeper, and many other things I either didn't get to or don't feel like recording. There are also these yellow token things that I don't know what purpose they serve, and candies that can be used to purchase cosmetics and cheat codes. I will discuss these later. The gameplay is confusing at first because almost none of these mechanics have tutorials. The airplane and frog were especially difficult to control at first. You eventually get the hang of things after a few trial and error attempts, but I don't think people should spend half of their playtime learning how things work, especially if they are only used for one section. I felt as if the mechanics of the game got boring as you learnt them. I definitely noticed I was zoning out and getting bored after a couple hours of playing the game, and I still haven't completed it. I don't think I am anywhere near done. But I tried, and I think I did okay without using a guide or reference. There is a tutorial for the robot at the spawn, which is helpful, but I walked past it because it wasn't immediately obvious, and by the time I realized it was there, I had already learned how to kind of move the character around. The stage design overall is interesting, but there are a lot of areas that feel empty and uninteresting. There is a lot of open space and distance between things, which seems to hurt this game more than it benefits the game because you have to spend a lot of time running to different sections without much challenge. Most stages I play through had somewhat fun mechanics, but Pittsburgh I think suffers from being grindy and tedious. Most buildings in this map are empty and have nothing in them, and the sole overall gimmick of this map is to collect money to free fubbies from their suffering. I do feel the need to mention the design in the Burger Spire stage because it looks as if several parts are unfinished and have gaping holes in the design, such as this hole in the wall, the many gaps in the building behind the bathrooms, this floor design, the gaps under the map that serve no purpose, and this floating tabletop, just to name a few things. I can't tell if these are intentional or not, especially since the game is unfinished besides a few cutscenes and polish. I can't tell if this has been polished or not. I felt the need to bring this up because to me, The other stages look pretty good in design, but this one just feels rushed. Cosmetics in this game, well, change the appearance of your robots. They can be purchased from a shop that rotates daily, but it is also affected by the date on your device, so you can simply change the date on your device to access different daily rotations. There are also CCs, which stand for cheat codes in this game, which modify how the game can be played. Some make the game 1,000 times easier. For example, I spent a lot of time with the 0G code because this basically disables gravity and allows you to fly around the map and walk on walls. But walking on walls seems to hurt more than benefit you. Air Jumper allows you to infinitely jump mid-air, which is also broken in some situations. And then there are other codes that are more so for fun and don't have much practicality. Cheat codes really do seem to turn this game into something you can fuck around in, which is fun. Oh yeah, there are also emotes, but I don't know how to use them. By purchasing the game while in early access, every cosmetic that would normally cost Robux is free. However, these Robux items can also appear for free with candies, so they aren't particularly exclusive or anything. So, is this game worth its small cost to play? No, probably not. 990 Robux is not a small amount. It's about 17 Australian dollars, and this is probably enough to buy some other games on Steam that give more content and don't have negative stigma by being associated with a platform that produces sloppy cash grab premium payout farms. For a Roblox game, it is a really good game, but I don't think it's worth buying early access. When the game gets officially released, I think it will be worth checking it out and seeing if you like it or not. If you do have 1,000 Robux to burn, it is better to spend it on this game than on some other places, I agree there. But even then, you would have to be interested in platforming and learning how many different mechanics work.